Hey everyone, welcome to the video that I'll be doing on Bitcoin today. This is March the 10th, 2020. It's about noontime here in the lovely land of the coronavirus-filled United States of America. All right. So of course, before I get into this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm giving my opinion on the market, and you're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the charts here and just take a look and see what we've got in front of us now. All right, so a couple things here. I do think that we are likely going to range down here for just a little bit of time. I do believe that we have created both a ceiling and a floor, and I'm going to outline these things for you. What I want to focus on is this green box, which is the golden zone on our log scale. We've got the 618 sitting right here at 77.50, and we have the 65 down here at 76.28, and the low is at 76.30 and 50 cents. So basically, we are finding support here in this golden zone. Now, what we haven't seen is a massive move up and out of this. What I would love to see is I would love to see us start to curl a little bit down here, and then we can see ourselves move higher, creating that Adam and Eve that people do tend to talk about every once in a while. One thing that I will point out is we do have the hourly Stokes, which actually did create a little bit of bearish divergence. We have a high on the price here, and we can see we've had a pretty high on the hourly stochastic, and then we created a higher high, and then we had a lower high on the stochastic as well, and that did confirm that we have bearish divergence. So, I'm skeptical on us moving much lower than this. My stops are currently around 7,500, as I explained yesterday. Howdy doody, Teddy Bear. Good to see you on the chat. So, what we've got this low down here at again about 76.28. We've got a pivot right here at the 618. Okay, so these are all good. Again, I don't think that we are going to be creating any significant lows. It is possible that we raid this low over here, but what we really need to see, more confirmation that we're going to be moving to the upside. We need to see a little bit more bullish pressure. Because if we take a look at the volume here, we had a nice green volume candle here, and then the next one we had was here, but it was less volume. And if we take a look at the price compared to that, that green volume was right here. The first time we hit the 618, lots of volume here. This was a lot of absorption. That was a bullish move off of this. And then we went lower. We went lower on less volume, which is good. We want to see less volume on a push lower. But what we just had, we had a significant amount of selling volume on that push there. So, of course, a couple things could have happened there. One, could have been a lot of stop losses. It could have been a lot of people that did take long positions here at the 618 that are, getting scared and shaken out of their positions. It could have been a number of things. And now we're starting to move back up. So let's just do this. These pivots right here, we've got this swing low here, and then we've got this swing high right here. Let's go ahead and put ourselves right in the middle of all of that and pull ourselves down here to these lows. And actually what I probably might want to do is actually move this down a little bit lower. Let's go ahead and just fix this here for a moment. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a bit of a range, and we've got liquidity hunting on both sides of this range. I actually like this pretty well. I'm going to remove this green box so that it's not in our way anymore. We know that this golden zone exists. But what we've got here, let me go ahead and outline this here for you. We've got our liquidity hunting on the top. We had it again. And then as far as on the downside goes, we had liquidity there, liquidity here, several hours, and then we just had it again. If we start to close outside of this on probably a 3-hour time frame, then this is going to look pretty bad for bulls. One thing that I can see here is, the 3-hour, it's trying to move up. It was suppressed down here for a long time. You can see that. We had, our confirmation here of a buy down here at the bottom of this range at about 77.25. But we also had several confirmations, but the 12-hour again was moving down. The 12-hour is still continuing to move down, although it is starting to compress a little bit. But what wouldn't surprise me, it would not surprise me for us to come down lower, potentially come down to, I must not have this on, I don't have it on this fib pull. So let's just take a look at this, pull out the 786 and see what this looks like. I don't want to see us come down here, but it is very possible for us to come down here to 71.28. What this would mean is that this range is actually a 4. And so let's just talk about what this could potentially mean. That means this 5 is probably going to come down here out a little further. This C is going to come down here out a little further. And this 5 is also going to come out a little further, which means that this was the 3 and we are in the middle of a 4. And then we're going to be moving down for the 5. If we get a sell on Bitcoin on the algo, right? And so for those of you that are insured, you know the settings that you need to have on there, the 1 hour and the 3 hour. If we get a sell on the 3 hour, chances are pretty good we are going to come back down here to about 7,100. That would take us down, that would take us down quite a ways, a little bit more than I'm expecting, but nonetheless, it is very possible for us to come down there and blow through that golden zone. Again, if we measure wave 2 to wave 3, let's just take a look at this for a moment. And I did make some changes on my fib pulls just to be, just to have some full disclosure here. We've got this wave 3 here, and our algo target for that was 8,000. Obviously, we've gone down lower than that. So yeah, right here at 7,000 is going to be our 100% expansion of this move right here. So if we take a look at our trend-based fib extension, we're going to take this wave 2 to wave 3. How long was wave 3? And then we go back to the 4. If we go to this 100, we're going to be getting an extension here in this 5th wave. And it's not uncommon for that to happen, but here's some more confluence. Here's 7,200. So I would be watching for that zone down there to hit. I would be watching for this. I would probably be getting out of long positions if we do create a sell on the 3 hour. I would not be surprised if this thing breaks down and comes down to 7,200. I know there's a lot of people that are talking about. Sorry, Jay. I just saw your comment. I know there's a lot of people that are waiting for this CME gap to fill. So let's just take a look at that and then come back. Okay, so obviously we've got a pretty sizable gap here, but just because there's a gap doesn't mean that it has to fill. We've got a humongous gap. So we'll go from right here all the way up to this zone. This is an enormous gap. And if you're a gap trader, you may have to wait a little while for this to happen. That gap is going to fill, by the way. There is no doubt in my mind that gap is going to fill. But again, it just would not surprise me if we were to go down and create a new low. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, because our indicators are telling us that we are kind of either going to just consolidate here, which if we continue consolidating here and we create a little bit of a compression, chances are pretty good this is going to break down. And likely what's going to end up happening, just to kind of outline this, so if we have from up here, we've got this, maybe we have an A, a B, a C, a D, and then we're going to get an E, and then we're going to see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just freehanding this. Obviously, I'm not thinking that we're going to go down to 6,500. I'm just kind of outlining this. And then we can see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, close the gap, go a bit further, because I do think over time that it is going to happen. It is going to go higher. So we just have to be patient with it and, trade the chart with no emotion. And if that 3 hour signals a sell, you should probably be getting out of that position, because it is probably going to move much lower than this pivot that we have right here. If we break that pivot, we are definitely going to be going lower based on what I'm seeing here. Again, let me go back to the BitMEX chart. Based off of this range that we have here, it wouldn't surprise me for us to come back to this median at about 7,900 to 7,915. It is also possible that we go back to 8,100, but I would just be very skeptical of filling that gap anytime in the next day or two. So just be careful. And again, all I'm basing this off of is technicals. I'm not basing this off of, really anything else. We've got the 1 hour, which is crossed down. The 3 hour is still erect, but that can cross at any time, so we have to watch for that. The 12 hour is also still moving down. The 12 hour is still down here at 19. When we had prior lows, this was back when the price was, back when the price was up here at 8,400 was really the last time we had high confluence of this. So again, it wouldn't surprise me for this to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to be, maybe this 4 is going to be extended out a little ways, but nonetheless, it is possible that we are in a wave 4 and then we're going to be going down. The other alternative, if you're a bull, all right, so let's talk about a bull case here for just a moment, and then we'll go ahead and close things out. If you're a bull, what you're wanting this to be is a 1, 2. In which case we cannot violate that low. If you are a bull, this low right here has to hold. That level at 76.30 has to hold. We cannot violate that. If you're a bull, that low cannot be violated. My guess is it will be violated. But again, full disclosure, I'm still long. I'm still long with a stop loss at about 7,500. And if we break 7,500, I'm going to reload down here at 7,200. Okay, so that's my plan. And again, this is just my opinion. I can be wrong. I have been wrong before. I will be wrong in the future. Okay, so this is just what I'm taking a look at. I'm looking at this range right here. And potentially, if this violates this low down here, 76.32, it probably is going to come down to 72. I'm going to stop loss on the other side of 7,500. I'm giving myself a little ways to go because again, this could just be a 1, 2, 3. It could be an A, B, C. It could be a 1, 2, 3. This could be a 4, and then we're going to go in for a little 5. Yeah, I mean, I hope I'm wrong too, but nonetheless, trade with no emotion. Take the loss if you've got a loss, and then there's always going to be another trade out there. So just just have to have that mentality. One more thing I want to make a comment on before we go ahead and close this out. We dumped at the same time SPY did. At the same time that the markets, I know I don't usually do this, but I want to take a look at this. We fell at the same time the S&P 500 dropped. And the S&P 500 did do a little bit of a rebound. Not that these markets are highly correlated, but you have to admit that they have all been going down at the same time. So the S&P 500 started falling on February 19th. When did Bitcoin start falling? Let's go back to February 19th and just take a look. This is February 19th. Right here is February 19th. And we've been going down ever since here. We got faked out. We thought we were going to be moving up. We had a fake out up here, 10,350, and we've been going down ever since. So, are these markets highly correlated? No, I don't think they are, but I also don't think that's a coincidence either that the S&P and Bitcoin are moving at basically the same rate at this point. I do think that there will be a point where they decouple from each other, but they have been highly correlated for the last 20, 25 days, okay? So just keep that in mind as well. We are expecting the stock market to have a significant decline, but we're also expecting Bitcoin to be moving up. So which idea is going to be wrong? So we have our stop losses, we have our trade setups, so we're going to continue to follow those. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. If this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We'd love to have you on our Discord server as well. So if you have any questions or anything there, just pop in a comment in the Discord. Otherwise, if you'd like an invite to our Discord, just throw in a comment here in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to get an invite code to you. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening.